The House will please come to order. The joint session of the 56th Legislature.
Look forward to working with the House and you on a very successful session and to accomplish our vision for Arizona. Our plan is one that anyone can get behind. A structurally balanced budget, lower gas prices, teacher pay raises that put Arizona above the national average, the ability for every child in the state to be in a great school, draining politics out of the classroom and focusing on reading, writing, math, ready-to-work skills, and order. Law child in the state to be in a great school, draining politics out of the classroom and focusing on reading, writing, math, ready-to-work skills, and order. Law and order in our streets and at our border, shrinking government and putting more money into the pockets of our citizens who are reeling from inflation, allowing businesses and population growth while using less water through conservation and augmentation. And we're going to protect our kids. We will increase penalties against those who commit sex crimes against children. About humanity, all of the things that you can expect to make it to the governor's desk. I look forward to welcoming our governor shortly, working together in any way that we possibly can to further and improve the state of Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with everything you said there, and would add that any effort to eliminate or undereducation will not succeed.
Members of the Legislature, the Honorable Hobbs, Governor of the State of Arizona.
Thank you. Speaker Tilma, President Peterson, members of the House and Senate, Attorney General Mays, Secretary Fontes, Treasurer Lee, Superintendent Horn, Mine Inspector Marsh, Corporation Commissioners, Chief Justice Brunel and members of the Judiciary, tribal leaders, Governor Brewer and honored guests, and all Arizonans. It is my honor to stand before you today at the opening of the second regular session of the 56th Legislature, here on land that will always be connected to the Oahu and the Peeposh of today's Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community and of the Gila River Indian community. What a year it has been. We have worked together, debated each other, pushed one another, and most importantly, put aside our differences when it mattered most to do what's right for Arizona and the people who call it home. Now, I think we can all agree it certainly hasn't been easy. But our constituents didn't send us here to the Capitol to solve easy problems or take the easy way out. They are relying on us to ensure Arizona's economy works for middle-class families. That we are taking action on securing the border where the federal government has so clearly failed. Community and of the Gila River Indian community. What a year it has been. We have worked together, debated each other, pushed one another, and most importantly, put aside our differences when it mattered most to do what's right for Arizona and the people who call it home. Now, I think we can all agree it certainly hasn't been easy. But our constituents didn't send us here to the cap problems or take the easy out. They are relying on us to ensure Arizona's economy works for middle-class families, that we are taking action on securing the border where the federal government has so clearly failed, that we continue creating good-paying jobs for working-class Arizonans, that we help lower costs on everyday items, that our water future is secure, that our schools are safe and places of opportunity, that healthcare is accessible for those who need it and when they need it, and that our rights and freedoms are protected. As a born and raised Arizonan, a social worker, a mom, and the sister of 2 public school teachers, these are the reasons I wake up every day to fight on behalf of Arizona. As we embark on this new year, one that will be filled with highs and lows, tough choices and compromise, it's my sincere hope we never lose sight of why our fellow Arizonans bestowed on us the honor of representing them, and why we must always strive for progress and for a better tomorrow. With that, I'm proud to share with you the progress we've made in the past year on many of these key issues. And just as importantly, I look forward to outlining the work before us in the months ahead. The foundation of what we do as elected officials here in this Capitol is rooted in keeping air safe. We cannot go forward without first addressing Washington's ongoing failure to secure our southern border, a failure decades in the making under both Democratic and Republican administrations. When my fellow Arizonans gave me the honor of this office, I pledged to not play the same old political games that created this crisis and that have continually hurt communities, families, and our state. No one understands the misguided efforts of the past more than our sheriffs, enforcement near the border, who work every day to offer solutions where the federal government has failed. One needs to look no further than the decision to close the Lukeville port of entry, which did nothing to actually solve our immigration crisis, but did hurt businesses and families. My administration worked tirelessly to reverse this short-sighted action by the federal government and took extraordinary steps, including sending the National Guard to the border to bring common sense. Day in and day out, I hear Together, let us continue to find real support law enforcement, first responders, and community leaders who are on the front lines of this issue, and push Washington to do its job to secure our border. And just as I will continue to hold the federal government accountable for their responsibilities, we must also fulfill our fiscal duty to this state. We face an approximately $850 million shortfall between this and the next, and it will take all of us working together to solve this gap without harming Arizonans. To all those who call this state home, let me share this message. We will not shirk our responsibilities, and we will not kick the can down the road for our children and the next generation to solve. And we will not cut spending on vital services. To the people of Arizona are counting on us, and we will not let them down. Let us find common ground, focus on real solutions, and strengthen our state's balance sheet. You will see the details on how I plan to address this gap when my budget is released later this week. We will rein in wasteful spending without sacrificing public safety and public education. We will establish guardrails on unaccountable programs without hurting hardworking families. And we will tighten our collective belts through increased efficiencies and innovation without gutting programs that support small businesses, seniors, and those in need. I look forward to working with leadership and members from both sides of the aisle in the months ahead to get the job done. Despite our budget issues, we have much to be proud of in our amazing state. Nowhere is it more apparent it is ascending than in the unprecedented strength of Arizona's job market and the record investment in our economy. Let us celebrate that today, more Arizonans are employed than at any point in our state's history. This milestone is a testament to the hard work and commitment of our entrepreneurs and innovators, our community colleges, universities, tradespeople, and of so many who recognize the promise of Arizona. Just as impressively, our state has attracted $32 billion in foreign investment, more than California, Texas, or any other state in the nation. That $32 billion means jobs, jobs, and more jobs for working people in Arizona. We created over 56,000 jobs in 2023, and we're just getting started. Arizona leads the way in the high-tech and advanced manufacturing businesses that are building our nation's future. I'm proud to say these achievements were possible because of partnerships between the public and private sectors. We should applaud the chambers of commerce and economic development groups across the state, and most particularly, the Arizona Commerce Authority, for their tireless efforts to attract new, high-quality jobs that can be life-changing for families and transformation with success and continuation of the Arizona Commerce Authority. As I said, we're just getting started, so now is not the time to rest. It is critical that all of us continue to work together, just as we did when a bipartisan coalition of House and Senate members came together to pass both last year's budget and put a Prop 4 in politics prevail. We stood together, helped ensure the continued success of our state, and enabled more Arizona families to prosper. That's the power of finding common ground
and doing what's best for the people of this state. And make no mistake, I will always put the people of Arizona first. That's why I've taken action to ensure our strengthening economy provides opportunities for any Arizonan who wants to succeed. With our investment in Future 48 workforce accelerators, we will prepare thousands of Arizonans every year for jobs, building our nation's future in industries like semiconductors, renewable energy, and aerospace and defense. Of not knowing how you're going to make your next mortgage payment. That's why I will always fight just as hard for your family as I fought for mine. And I will never stop working to find solutions to the housing affordability crisis. This past you hear you as this issue. We directed $150 million to keep more Arizonans housed through rental assistance programs. We allocated money to provide legal aid for up to 1 million more Arizonans who are facing eviction or housing instability. And we made a historic investment to create more housing that's actually affordable for middle-class families. Awarding tax credits that enabled the Arizona Department of Housing to maximize the building of affordable housing across the state. This particular effort led directly to 15 new affordable housing developments, half of which are in rural communities. And this built more than 1,000 housing units for working class families. Should many we take to help ensure longtime residents, young professionals, and middle-class Arizonans are protected from being priced out of the communities and state they love. I was born and raised in an Arizona where a middle-class family could buy their own home, and that should be the reality for the next generation too. But to make it so, we must take action. That's why today I am announcing the Arizona is Home Mortgage Assistance help working class families throughout the state with down payment assistance and mortgage interest rate relief. That means a family of 4 living in Phoenix making up to $75,000 a year, will have the opportunity to purchase a quality, affordable home. And we will enhance homebuyer assistance for our state's rural communities by providing access to less costly loans for working. These are good, tangible steps to creating access to housing at affordable prices, but they alone will not solve the crisis across our state. I look forward to working with any member of this legislature to find innovative and effective solutions to help Arizonans access the homes they and their loved ones need to thrive. Of course, to discuss Arizona's future, we'll also talk about how to protect what we have, challenges ahead, and how to maximize opportunities when Mother Nature offers them. Thanks to the careful planning and bipartisanship of generations of leaders before us, Arizona is at the forefront of water conservation and innovation. Our state uses less water today than in the mid-1950s, even as our population has boomed. However, just because we've been successful in the past does not mean we can relax about the future. But open and not shy away because they can be difficult. As the first year of my administration has shown, I will take decisive action to protect Arizona's water future. Before this chamber last year, I highlighted a corporation pumping groundwater in La Paz. Found they ended it. And as of next month, all Butler Valley leases held by this entity will be terminated, protecting water for nearby communities. I will continue working with everybody, full community. Water future is secure for tomorrow and for generations. There is no better example of this than the agreement I negotiated earlier this year with our neighbors, Nevada and California, to conserve at least 3 million acre-feet of water, enough for 9 million homes by 2026. With this historic agreement, always strive to do more through expanding public-private partnerships, increasing conservation, exploring new technology, and maintaining a steadfast commitment to strengthening protections where needed. The bipartisan demanded and fought to protect their groundwater have been ignored. Now, after 40 years of waiting, it's time we finally take action and update our groundwater management laws. Where others to have it is used. And for too long, we have allowed development that skirted our smart and common sense consumer protections for water availability. We must close the loopholes that allow build to rent and wildcat developments. We'll recognize must continue to adapt while maintaining our long-held status as a national leader in water management. Our water standards are the tradition of growing our economy while protecting our state's most precious resource. In that vein, I have directed that of water resources to find a new path to provide historically relied on groundwater resources. This new alternative designation of water resources program will provide an opportunity for these entities to achieve a 100-year assured water supply by creating new water sources and reducing groundwater pumping, which will help ensure our future growth is both smart and sustainable. Let us remember that water and drought do not care registration in an urban or rural community. We can only protect our water supply by working together. I stand ready to work with you to pass legislation that makes the changes we need today, all to safeguard Arizona's water for tomorrow. And to those of you who have spent years refusing to act, if you don't, I will. I was born and raised in Arizona, and I chose to raise my family here. My kids attended public schools, and I'm the sister of 2 public school teachers. I know what having a high-quality public education can mean to millions of Arizonans. But sadly, we too often fall. We must. Our public school Arizona is the best place to raise a family. So I applaud the bipartisan group of legislators who did the right thing to pass an override to the aggregate expenditure and I stand ready to work with legislators to find a permanent solution going the AEL to find Let's build on that success and send an even stronger Prop 123 to the voters, one that will provide our public schools another decade of funding certainty. Without gifts. But we must also hear the Arizonans asking us to do more. Let's take this opportunity to increase compensation for teachers and the support staff who are all critical for student success. Take the next steps. I look forward to collaborating with you to move these solutions forward. By working together to strengthen Prop 123, we will prove to Arizona parents and students that we're building the world-class public education system they deserve and that our state needs for the future. We must not let this opportunity pass us by. This upcoming session also address health of our We have seen a steady stream of news coverage around unacceptable and outrageous use of taxpayer money under this program, including place guardrails to ensure taxpayer dollars dedicated to education are used properly. Without these guardrails, and thrive. That's why we must take action to bring transparency and accountability on behalf of Arizona parents, background checks for educators, and expanding the authority of the Auditor General. Additionally, let's require recipients to have attended a public school for at least reasonable. My message to parents across Arizona, whether your family takes part in this program or not, now is the time to advocate for accountability and transparency, not a blank check. If we fail to tag our state innovation, pushing boundaries and helping more healthy AZ Healthy Tomorrow initiative, which will produce over 2,500 more healthcare professionals every year. Working together, we will create a new generation of doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals, while offering communities across our state badly needed access to healthcare. We are early in this journey, but we should be proud of our state universities for their steadfast efforts to build a better tomorrow for Arizona. I'm calling on this legislature to work with me to begin a new engineering-focused medical school at Arizona State University. As someone who had to work my way through college and who wouldn't be here today without the help of scholarships and financial aid, ensuring that higher education is attainable for any Arizonan who wants it is personal to me. Progress we've made in this area through securing significant investments in tribal colleges, as well as new funding for community colleges in rural Arizona. However, we must also recognize many of our actions have been one-time investments. We must seize the opportunity through education. So, providing high quality care for our fellow Arizonans. However, I am saddened and infuriated that too many long-term care facilities are failing some of the most vulnerable, devastating mental abuse, exploitation, and poor quality of care have severely hurt, and in some tragic cases, led to the deaths of too many Arizonans. And what's the penalty in these cases? A $500 fine. This is unconscionable, and as leaders in this state, we should taxpayers hundreds of dollars. Action to crack down on this fraud. Amend Attorney General Mays for investigating those who are exploiting some of our most vulnerable residents. The individuals behind these scandals will be held accountable, but it is also apparent. That's why I'm calling on the legislature to strengthen our state's standards for sober living homes and long-term care facilities and significantly increase penalties for bad actors. Facilities will standardize inspection and will empower adult protective services to seek emergency protection orders and establish standardized credentials for Alzheimer's, dementia, and memory care. Protecting Arizonans in long-term care and sober living facilities shouldn't be a partisan issue. Let's work high-quality health care. Unfortunately, federal efforts that raised so many kids out of poverty just a few years ago are phasing out, but the needs and rising costs for parents are just as tough as ever. No family should have to go bankrupt to care for a sick child. or life-saving procedures without forcing their parents into mountains of debt or heartbreaking GoFundMe campaigns. Let's continue working together to find new and innovative ways to lower the cost of doctor visits, medical exams, and other quality of life measures that will provide relief for Arizona families today. That's why I strongly urge you to support my forthcoming proposal that stops price gouging middlemen in our healthcare system from overcharging for prescription drugs. Requires justifications for price increases so Arizonans aren't hit with surprise costs, and establishes the new prescription drug affordability These measures will help every Arizonan and ensure no one ever has to choose between paying for rent or paying for life-saving medication. I believe that fighting for Arizona families is the foundation of what we do as elected officials. And I truly believe that fighting for I speak for millions of Arizonans with a clear message. These deep decisions should be made between a woman and her doctor, not politicians and the government. I will always defend Arizonans' freedoms, and I refuse to back down in the face of those who want to criminalize doctors and outlaw abortion. Instead, there are common sense bills we can pass right now that will expand access to reproductive health care. Arizonans across the political spectrum agree that we should repeal the 1864 abortion ban once and for all. That we should pass the Right to Contraception Act, and we should stop government overreach that invades women's privacy by collecting and publishing data on every abortion in Arizona. As I have before, and Now these critical is the time. I have used this time today to highlight just a few of our successes from the past year, the incredible strengths of our state, and the steadfast resolve of its people. And we have started what should always be an honest discussion about the significant issues, choices, and before us. Go forward, legislative, let us why we are here and taking vistas and stunning natural beauty. And we are bound by our responsibility to ensure every person who calls this place home has the opportunity to succeed today, as well as the generations who follow us. My promise to you is that I will never lose sight and gives us. Thank you for